Alright, welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all on Wednesday night, New Year's Eve. So it's December 31st, 2025, almost 2026. Amazing how quick the time marches on, as the old who was that? Tracy Lawrence, I think, did that song here at one time. And it's a true statement. Get to the end of the year and you get to look back over the year and see what was good and what wasn't so good. And overall, though, been a better year than it has in some past. For me, anyway. Hope for you too. We seem to get nostalgic for things that never really were. I think I've discussed that before. We remember the good times and all this stuff, but we usually forget that the bad times mixed in. And, But anyway, that's just kind of how it goes. I've heard that about, let's say, Burma Shave soap. So, Burma Shave was originally a brushless cream. So people that are nostalgic for the cakes of Burma Shave, that was relatively new. I mean, that was, the 80s or something like that, to where it got bought, and then they changed it and they put the name onto the cakes of soap, and everybody's nostalgic for it. Now I've got several cakes of that. It's good stuff, but it's still you remember stuff sometimes not exactly like it is. It kind of fits. It kind of fit around what we want to say or do. So anyway, sometimes it's a big theme shave and everything for the new year. Just a simple shave tonight. I think that's the best. And what I am using is my favorite lather catcher. This is a 1910 Jim Jr. We call it the Jim Jr. bar. And it's got the bar across the top there. This one is a plain one. It's not ornate. It doesn't have the stropper in it anymore. I do have some that have the stropper and they're more ornate. This was my first one. Came from Dave Irving, who some of y'all may remember. He did the original Toast before he kind of drifted into oblivion. But anyway, he had sent me that at one time, and that was my first lather catcher, and got me into lather catchers, which are, if you don't know, you need to find out how good a shave a lather catcher is. You people that are exclusively two-sided thingies that don't know how to use a real razor might not understand lather catcher, but it's just number one, they're a work of art. They're really pretty, but they really function very well. Soap tonight. I've got it in an Old Spice mug. This is Stirling, Glastonbury. Love that scent. Got the patchouli oil in it and all kinds of other good stuff. Everybody, I'm sure, knows how good Stirling soaps are. I have several. I need several more. But anyway, and then we have a brush. One of my favorite board brushes. It's an Omega knot, and I don't remember. I think it was the Omega either 98 or 99. I can't remember. But this brush was made by T. White, and I was really, really, really happy to get one. This was one of the early brushes. He was making them. This is, of course, a remake of the the A400 or something like that. This is the brush by Tom, the B400, and he made them with exchangeable furrows, like a badger and a boar and a synthetic or whatever. But this particular one won't unscrew, and it's just a boar, which is great because boars are my favorite brushes. So that was machined. I don't know how many people know how good a machinist Mr. Tom White is, but let me tell you, he's a good one. He's a good one. So anyway, one of my favorite brushes. I have this brush that's got this knot in it, and then I have a hand-turned brush by Jayara that has this knot in it. Two of my favorites. I love a big old boar knot. I'm a boar fan. I use badger, and I can use synthetic. I don't use synthetic much. It's not much of what I'm after. But boar and horse are two of my favorites. And then boar and horse, and then badger after that. But nothing wrong with a good badger brush. I'm sitting here looking at one that I had reknotted, the first brush I ever reknotted, many, many moons ago now. And got a golden nib silver tip badger and a ever ready 200 handle. One of my favorites also. I have a lot of favorites. It's hard sometimes to just say this is my favorite. But anyway, never any problems lathering the Stirling soap. Speaking of lathering, I was going to mention again how I like the lather soaps. Is you start with a brush that's damp, not particularly overly wet. Start with a damp brush and just start building a paste. And then just dip the very tips of the brush in the water and keep adding water like that until you get it right. Not complicated. We're not icing a cake here. We don't need buttercream. You want a good slick layer that's going to let the laser glide, and it's going to, carry away the cuttings. All that extra is just, I don't know. Yeah, like it. Some people, it's that like they're icing a cake or something like that. I mean, you want buttercream, go bake a cake, I guess. Nothing, no big secrets about using a lather catcher. It's a razor. These are, they're not, don't have a huge blade feel, but they do a really good job. And of course, you can get individual ones that are, have more feel. Even razors of the same type and model and year and all that stuff, they can have a completely different feel to them. I've got shicks that are that way. I've got an E2 that's probably the most aggressive razor I have, aggressive feeling razor. And then I've got E2s that, just don't. So anyway, way it goes. I got a G8 that's like that also. It's a very, very aggressive feeling. Does a really good job. Razor's a razor, blade's a blade. They'll shave. All in your technique. But looking back over the year, again, it's been kind of a busy one. I stay busy at work. Hopefully I keep staying busy at work. I think that kind of keeps me moving to stay busy. And wasn't a bad year. I didn't get particularly sick. I'm having a, everybody, there's a lot of people that fight the old diabetes. I decided I didn't need to fight it anymore, and found out I was wrong. But that's not really a thing to make it call a bad year. That's just one of them things that happens. Sometimes we just got to realize that things happen. We keep going. Keep rolling along. I don't get into politics much, but it's a whole different world with that these days. Used to, you could have different opinions and still get along, and you went to the ballot box and you voted for what you thought was right. Nowadays, everybody wants to fight over everything. But there you go. That's about all the politics I'm going to talk. If you hadn't noticed, really easy shaves. I shave with two-sided thingies. I shave with straight razors. I can use them all. Regular straight razors, the Camasory style. I don't have a actual genuine straight razor that is honed, but I have shavettes. There's only one shavette, it's a Dovo, right? But they have other things they call shavettes. But any of those, I've got several different ones. I can use those. I'll use one in a video here before long. But single edge and injector razors are kind of my thing. You didn't know that, most of you do. But it's just a simple, uncomplicated shave. We're not sitting there spending all the time buffing and working on a BBS, because this short time after that it'll be back to sandpaper anyway. Why bother? But what we do get is we do get these really good shaves, and that was just a regular day's growth on the shave, and that's how you can tell pretty much how good your technique is and everything, and if you have your combination dialed in, is that when you do just a regular one-day shave, I need to shave every day with work. Every day that I work, I should be shaving. And witch hazel. If you don't use witch hazel for your final pass, you ought to go buy you a cheap bottle. Not expensive. Heck, you can get it from Dollar Tree for $1.25 sometimes if you can find it there. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. And give it a whirl. My brother-in-law, who's a really good guy, didn't like it. So I inherited. My sister had sent me some that he didn't use, so I'm pretty well stocked up on it. But anyway, there we go. Witch hazel for the finish. But anyway, it's just pressure and angle. That's all shaving is, no matter what instrument you're using. Razor's a razor, blade's a blade. If it'll hold where you can have steady pressure and angle and the blade sharp, you should be able to shave with it. I glued a blade on a stick one time and shaved with it. I nicked myself, but that was because the blade wasn't absolutely flat because it was a twig. But anyway, back in the good old days of the shave den. But anyhow, yeah, I still got my little sore right there, but I don't think it's a skin cancer anymore. I was able to burst it this morning and dig a bunch of crap out of it. So hopefully now it heals up and goes away and I don't got to mess with it no more. I'll be happy with that. Good dark roast coffee. Well, that's going to be about it for tonight. I'm sorry, nothing exciting, no big rants. We can get to that next time. But I had gone out and walked the dogs, and now it's time to take a shower and get cleaned up and get in uniform and get ready to go to work for another night. Hopefully the crackheads and other assorted boobs stay home. If you haven't tried Stirling soap, I don't know why you wouldn't have tried Stirling soap. If you're a wet shaver, you should have. Give them a try. You can tell them Fuzzy sent you. They have no idea who I am. Won't care that you told them, but you can tell them. But anyway, so there we go. We got the old Omega board. Omega's good brushes. I like to say my favorite brush is the Smog 1305, and for some reason it is. That's just always been my favorite brush. But these Omega knots are a really, really nice knots. If you haven't got one, and one of these days I've got an Omega that's got that knot in it. I'll show you what they look like. Most of you probably already know. Not like it's an obscure brand or anything. But anyhow, there we go. Right there, the B400, the brush by Tom. Appreciate that still, Mr. Tom. And I'm able to have one of those. All right, well, that's going to do it for me. Like I said, I'm going to mosey on out and grab a shower and get ready for work. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, Happy New Year. Let's hope last year's as good as this year, because I guarantee you, even if you think, oh, it's a horrible year, if you go back and think about it, you made it through. You know, that's one of the most important things. You made it through. Now, I realize we lose people sometimes, and we hate that and everything, but the important part is you made it through. And let's make another one. Happy shaves to you.